Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of the 8 Morning 92 podcast where we always keep it 100. You heard none of them sound effects, did you?
Nah. Hey. Told y'all niggas I was gonna keep it street.
Oh, then how you coming, Glock?
Pause.
Okay.
It's the 8 Morning 92 podcast. You know how we do. We always keep it 100.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the 8 Morning 92 podcast where we always keep it 100. I am your host, the one and only Mr. Harrison. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of the 8 Morning 92 podcast. And it's Easter, so happy Easter to everybody celebrating this Easter Sunday. Happy Easter weekend for everybody. I appreciate everybody joining us today. Shout out to everybody who listened to the last episode. Shout out to everybody who's been back for the journey. Shout out to just everybody in general. Hope everybody took this weekend to kind of get some relaxation in and kind of, take it this weekend to recharge yourselves and get ready back for a long week because I ain't got a day off. Like, I want to say, federal holiday off until I ain't even get this one off, but I don't think I have a federal holiday off till May, and I think that's like Memorial Day. So other than that, it is good to be back at this refreshing weekend off, chill with Bizzo and Zay. My mom came down, so we Easter egg hunted. We did some cooking. We went out and chilled. We went and saw Godzilla and Kong. Thought it was pretty straight. It was good getting back to the movies. Went to dine-in theater. Number one dine-in theater is still the Alamo cinemas that are in San Antonio. And those have the best dining experiences that I've had. Since I've been to the movie experience, they also have the best movie experience that I've been to from the standpoint of, San Antonio's they really do like the movie experience. So they kind of take their comic movies very serious. So I think at that time when I was there, I don't remember what comic movie was out. I have to look at the year and see what came out that year. But like just the whole ordeal of what was coming out around that time, they did a lot of lead up to movies around them. And so going to movies was just, the experience of it was just very good. I mean, going to movies in general now, even with comic book movies, are not really hyped about. And, when you see a lot of movies now, I feel like I've said this plenty of times, I feel like it's a crusade for actors trying to kind of crush Marvel. And Marvel has done some things to themselves to where they lost a lot of credibility because they were just putting out too much content. But I feel like a lot of people in Hollywood kind of were upset with Marvel because they couldn't put out content because they weren't making billions and billions of dollars like Marvel Cinematic Universe was. So I felt like there was a secret but not secret conspiracy to pan everything that came out with Marvel. You could see from the Miss Marvel movie that it seemed like they let the internet and Rotten Tomato scores pan that just for it to be the number one stream movie on Disney Plus. And it was just, like I said, a long critiquing of just panning the superhero movies before people went and actually saw the movies. And so I think they used that to like kind of let Oppenheimer and Barbie and some of these other original movies that came out where people were actually, original content. So people can act and put out other movies besides superhero movies because that kind of was like the only gig that people were kind of going after because that was setting people's career off. And it was kind of funny because if people kind of noticed with comic book movies, before they became what they were no-name actors on comic book movies. Now, what kind of tainted comic book movies was they was adding like Angelina Jolie's and they were getting a lot of A-list actors. Like I think they were talking to Ryan Gosling and they just added Joe Pascal for the Mr. Fantastic role. And there was these people that are already prominently established. Like Robert Downey Jr. was not who he is now as Iron Man or Tony Stark. But when he made that role iconic, same with Chris Evans for Captain America, those people are their roles, but they weren't when the Marvel Cinematic Universe was early on. So now everybody feels like you got to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to kind of have your career take off. So it's kind of good to get back to the movies. Kong and Godzilla versus New Empire. It was okay. I'm more like just into the movies, going and seeing it. I'm not really a King Kong fan. Like I can't name none of the monsters. I can only name King Kong and Godzilla because it's kind of hard to forget a big ass monkey and a big ass lizard that you've heard multiple times or seen, from people use it. Like, Dave Chappelle did a skit about Godzilla where he was Blackzilla, the iconic Training Day scene where he says, King Kong ain't nothing on me, Denzel Washington. And so, those, but I can't tell you nothing about the moth or three-headed dragon. I can't tell you nothing about that. But, I kind of just watch it to go. And like I said, I'm a cinemaphobe, so I'm going to go to the movies just because I like to be immersed in that world of cinematography. So it was good to kind of go there and make it a night of it because I feel like people don't really go out anymore and do anything. I feel like people want to go out somewhere and take moments with their phones and be behind it instead of kind of going out there and doing things that they used to do. People would go bowling, people would go skating, people would go to the movies, people would go miniature golfing, people would go go-karting, and people would just go live in the moment. And now people go live for the clicks. And, I think that takes us to our first topic, which I feel like people need to kind of go back to do what was done before everything became Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, social media based. And I think people need to go back to having personalities. I think if you ask people, everybody, a lot of people can't do stuff alone. Well, now it seems like you can't even do things that is a part of an identity of society. Like what is society now? Is it social media based or is it environmental and recreational based? So, and like I said, that can lead us to our first topic. It's all over the newsways. The shortest time the term "no Diddy" has taken its own meaning. It started for something freaky. It replaced pause for about an hour and a half to, if you say no Diddy, that means you doing no parties or you doing no type of sex trafficking or nothing illegal. And I'm kind of glad, I guess I kind of waited to talk about it the first time when it was about the parties and it's about the, just the involvement of everything, because I just feel like, to me, yeah, it's kind of funny to an extent about what's kind of going on. Of course, the Meek Mill stuff happening, and then it kind of turned into the raids that kind of happened earlier in the week, and then it's just kind of turning into like, what the fuck is really going on? I had this one theory. I feel like, a lot of people talk about the Illuminati or you got to do some wild shit to kind of get in, but I also feel like whenever somebody black is doing something powerful, I feel like that what happens is something crazy happens. Like, I feel that, I don't know what R. Kelly may be the only exception, but I don't know because R. Kelly put out a whole tape about peeing on motherfuckers. And for some odd reason, it was a Dave Chappelle skit, it was a Boondocks episode skit, and it was right under y'all nose. And he was, putting out interviews where he said, how old is 18 really? And it did nothing until a documentary came out. And now it was surviving R. Kelly. When, if you kind of watch the DVDs and if you look at certain things in time, if you watch a lot of things on TV, and R. Kelly is not the subject of this topic, but if you watch a lot of things on TV, a lot of TV was based upon dealing with older men with younger women. I mean, hell, y'all not crucifying Elvis for basically dating a 14-year-old girl. The Color Purple, Celie was 13. It's just, if you ask a lot of older men in their 50s, that was the thing of seeing older men talk to younger girls. Hell, my mom was a younger woman compared to my dad. So, I'm not going to trip on my mom or my pops, but it's just what made that documentary so much special that's about R. Kelly that we didn't know, other than the fact that all y'all are guilty for stepping in the name of love and starting the keys to the ignition and letting people remind y'all of y'all Jeeps that we all knew about Aaliyah. And I say that to bring it to Diddy. Diddy had all this stuff about setting up Biggie and doing all this weird stuff to the fact that like it was right under y'all nose, and then he sues, I think the liquor company or something with Revolt or something. But it's the same with Cosby. Like we knew he was drugging people and heard about it. And what made a Hannibal Buress joke make all these people come forward? We heard all this crazy stuff about, like going back to Diddy now. Heard this crazy stuff about Diddy. Now, what makes Cassie's story or come forward? Yes, he settled. But you also know Diddy was about to do something major, I think, with Revolt. But what makes Cassie's story so unique that all of a sudden, since they settled, everybody's come through and started saying something like all them allegations about Diddy doing some type of molestation or sexual assault or anything like that. And, like it took Cassie to come and tell her story for a nigga to come tell you that Diddy was messing with you in college. It took Cassie, who was in a relationship with Diddy, to come say something to you. And then if it, speed to where we are with this sex trafficking stuff, does that make Cassie complicit? You could have got this money all this time. It's just what was happening to people. Like I said, Bill Cosby was about to buy NBC. Michael Jackson had all that money. All of a sudden, he died. So it's I'm not a conspiracy theorist person. I don't really go into all that because I'm going to start doing a whole bunch of reading, watching videotapes, stuff that causes my attention. Cause me to put my attention to things that I could care less about. But I just, you notice these things start to happen. And Diddy was a mogul. Diddy was somebody you wanted to mold your life around as far as success. You can't sit there and say, the only knock about Diddy all these years was you did not want a bad boy contract. The bad boy contracts was crazy as fuck. If you sat there and got you a bad boy contract, you was a dumb motherfucker. That can be from making the band. That could be from Danity Kane. That could be from B5. But the impact that Diddy had on the culture, from Mary J. Blige, from Notorious B.I.G., from 112, from the band, even if you want to say it, from, he worked with New Edition, from Lil Kim. I could do this. It'll be the whole episode talking about his, impact. It's very sad. And then you got Sean John, you got Ciroc, you got, like I said, he started Revolt. It's just kind of funny that she puts this lawsuit out and then now it's Diddy is joked on. Like, again, last year, another funny joke, like, again, he was pissing on Carisha, and it was just kind of like the only thing that was against him at that time was pissing on Carisha, and the whole older man dating a younger woman, and Diddy don't want to settle. Some of the things about his personal life was always out there. He was dating his son's ex-girlfriend. I guess the part about me is people don't separate people's personal life from their business. I never looked at Diddy from the standpoint of like, I want to go out there and live the personal life. I just feel that once it's no way to become successful without getting your hands dirty. I feel the same with LeBron. I feel like LeBron has probably had to do some stuff that, he is probably left him awake at night. I don't think that you get to the top of any type of excuse me. I don't think you get to the top of any type of hierarchy without hurting some feelings or, stepping on some people's neck. And so I don't see how anybody thought that Diddy or the Warren Buffetts or the Jeff Bezos or anybody had got to the top without doing something that behind closed doors, they ain't gonna get out, they don't want to get out. It could ruin them. So as far as his personal life, like I said, peeing on people, freaky ass parties. I think everybody weird. It's people that like feet fetish. It's people that want to be put in diapers. It's people that want to be called like baby names, talking baby names. If you watch P Valley, the one dude, he was like a Fortune 500 person. He want to get whipped and chained, and he go back to his normal life. I just think that like, what you do from your 9 to 5 should not. I don't. That's how you get the success story. That's what you need to tell kids. What you do when you clock out, that's your personal time. I'm in the military, and then when I get off work, I go play basketball. I play Madden. I got a gang of action figures right there. That might not be for everybody. I play Gears of War. I play PS5. I go watch movies. I bowl. That may not be for everybody, but that's for James Michael Harrison Jr. So, to get this Diddy stuff, I just feel like it's a lot, and to get online all the time and to have people have these stories out right now, it's just kind of like it gets too much to where like it was funny at first, like the parties and like they raided his home. And to me, I guess it's like sex trafficking is crazy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like when you start selling people, excuse the coughing, people, but yeah, sex trafficking is crazy. Like it's kind of the same with the Meek stuff. Like it's cool, but like to sit there and think like you really just blowing somebody's ass out like that, like pause, is like to sit there and think that like sex trafficking is trading people, Like what the fuck is Diddy doing to be selling people? Like that's like a whole other game. And I just feel like at that point, like you really need to dive. Like it's all jokes aside at that point because it's a lot of people that look up to this man, and if that's the game that you kind of own, nigga, you ain't spinning records and making music. We need to talk about you like Pablo Escobar or Griselda Blanco type shit. You need to be on Narcos. Like you need to change that Bad Boys from a little baby that's holding up the peace sign to somebody pushing P for real. So I feel like the jokes and stuff like that can. I just feel like social media sometimes takes it. We try to bury people too much, and I feel like with these court cases, it what his house got raided. People came in and he on the jet and he out the country and he doing all this. Diddy still in America, and there's so much information coming out that like it's not even true. And so now this iconic figure that we've known, if you're from the 90s from a certain point that you grew up on, you gotta sit there and compartmentalize it and kind of castigate them and throw them in the trash, or else you're looked at as trash for following him as well, because that's how the world works. And we're just giving up on letting information develop. Now, we're just so quick to say somebody's trash because we got so engulfed in his life. We cared that he dated J-Lo. We cared that he dated Young Miami. We cared that he was with Kim Porter or he didn't marry her. We cared about all this other stuff that didn't matter. That essentially you're about to erase a whole catalog of his career that affected, like I said, the Mary J. Blige's, the Day 26s, the Making the Band TV show era, the I Needed Girls. Like it's like R. Kelly. Y'all just throw away that whole classic. It's not just the R. Kelly songs. It's the features. It's the people that wanted to be R&B singers like R. Kelly. It's the people that wanted to make shows based off the Huxtables, or the people that wanted to go to college because of a different world that you can't associate that with because Bill Cosby is a character he is now. We were just talking about Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri for verses. You can't put that out now. So Bad Boy goes away. So now you don't talk about Notorious B.I.G. no more because of Diddy, because that's associated with Bad Boy Records. And that's not taken into effect. Like this isn't, you got to really talk about this nigga now. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to really sit there and think like, why? And then y'all didn't even arrest him to raid the man's houses. You know what I mean? Like, and let's just say something happened, like, God forbid, did he go out there and blow his goddamn brains out? Y'all gonna be sitting there like it was just a joke. Like, like when y'all play with Shannon Sharp and y'all call the man gay, it's just jokes. It's just this. It's just that. And if some of these people weak, you want to get, or Bow Wow, y'all want to give Bow Wow the flowers when it's gone for all the stuff he did with the Scream tour, the Like Mike movies, the lottery tickets, whatever they want to do. That's all we are now. Everything is a joke. Everything is a clickbait. Everything is for reactions. Everything's for people got to come online and defend themselves for no fucking purpose. What does it matter for people that you'll never see? Social media, Twitter, Instagram has made everything to where people feel like they got to prove themselves to bots, to people who try to go in there and give podcast opinions. Like I seen one thing, $30 an hour is not enough for a date. For who? Who are y'all? Like, Wendy's got a $5 biggie bag. Like, now all of a sudden motherfuckers is going to eat tomahawks all the time. If you can't get a tomahawk before 1 o'clock, then, if you can't get a female a tomahawk before 1 o'clock, then you're not a high value person. Who the fuck can still function from a full day from eating a tomahawk at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the afternoon? You know what I'm saying? And it's the same with dudes. Like, oh man, if a dude do anything, he's sassy. Like that's the world we live in. Like every time I see something on Twitter, somebody popping a balloon, and you telling somebody, well, I just seen this guy and he didn't seem right for this. But you 35 years old on a balloon popping dating shit. That seemed normal. This is the world that's telling people like Diddy or people like and mind you, I'm not defending Diddy because I don't know what he did, but this is telling people, Jonathan Majors or anybody that's going through something, as soon as it happened, that they got to be innocent, or they got to, like I said, you got to put people's real lives as if they got everything together. But that's social media. I can't defend that. So I wanted to bring up this one clip from Boosie, because I felt like this part was pretty funny too, because there was a lot of people that always supported, wanted to be a Ciroc boy, wanted to do all this. Now that the Diddy, is in some shit, they ain't said a word. And so I want to play this video, and it's from the one and only Mr. Boosie Badass. And he kind of said something to me that kind of, made me just want to share it really before we move on to the next topic. Mainly because it reminded me kind of like of the Chloe Bailey situation with her baby daddy. Everybody wanted her to dump him. And now that they had this baby, he showed he a great father. Everybody saying he the father of the year. Everybody wanted to go to the Jay-Z brunch or Diddy party. And now the Diddy on the fire, the Diddy party was the worst thing ever. And all these friends that, was a Diddy friend, you ain't heard them say nothing. So, between him and Uncle Luke, I just thought this was valuable about Mr. One and Only, Mr. Show your pussy online for $1,000. I give you $1,000. I just want y'all to hear this because I just felt like it resonated for times like this, to where you just really can't trust nobody for real in today's time. Like, this fame shit is really, really overrated.
That champagne every year. Having speeches with, man, nobody speak up for this man or nothing.
So as soon as they say something,
when you're on top of the world, it's a celebration. Bro. When you're on the bottom, it's a denilation.
Bro, same motherfucker you see going up, you gonna see coming down.
All the motherfuckers, all with them suits on, with their cups up, ain't nobody said nothing.
They ain't, fool. Man, as soon as they say something, they in the crosshair, fool.
Boy, this world, boy.
As soon as they say something.
This world, boy.
So you was around Diddy too.
That's why you ain't gonna see too many niggas around me. Who was around me before I went to jail. You don't see too many niggas around me. Because them niggas did me like Diddy people. Black people happy for a nigga downfall. I don't hear none of them niggas who was at Diddy.
Next one, man, is just, like I said, people do stuff for likes and clicks, and we can see how, things can kind of backfire. I want to take y'all to something I seen that was I thought it'd be kind of a quick little feel-good story. It's kind of blown up to the point to where my man is, my man is doing very good for himself. It started with this guy in Texas, Dallas, Texas. His name is Aint Fresh, man. By now, he was going to Whataburger, and some people was making fun of his fit. My man had on a clean fit, and what was planned to be like a roasting session backfired on the people that were trying to clown on my man's for likes and clicks, and basically made my man a celebrity. So I wanted to show y'all the video that came through. I'm pretty sure y'all done seen it by now.
At all. No, sir.
you know, and like as y'all can see, my dog is clean. I don't know what they talking about. You know, it's always some people that want to come out there, and of course, when everybody's seen this, you know, everybody's initial reaction was, well, what is the people that's recording them, what they got on? And surprising, I thought it was just like some, you know, regular ratchet females that wanted to, you know, make fun of somebody, talk about somebody. Because I know he looked drunk, he looked dusty. But like I said, you see my dog, he got the polo fit on with the jeans, you know. You could tell he older clearly, but the fit, he got the New Balance on. I want to say them is 995s. Don't hate me if I get them wrong. But like I said, my man head to toe, he ain't doing with the too big polo. It's about fitted to about his frame. Pants ain't baggy, hanging off his ass. He looked like a great value juvenile, if anything. But they was clowning on my man. At first, like he was about to cry, but like I said, he could be drunk. They made this go viral, and what ended up happening from that is, like I said, they try to bully him. And as you know, in 2020, 2024, 23, whatever, you can't bully people no more. And from that, it basically made my man get offers from basically everybody. He went from being the guy that was getting joked on to the Aint Fresh guy, and this man is basically, shoot, I'll show y'all for myself. My man got touchdown in Dallas. He going to Dillard's, going on shopping sprees for LRG, bringing it back. Of course, I'm not gonna wear it, but you know, hey, look, I ain't about to, you know, stop my man from getting his shine on. Of course, he also turned this into an opportunity to be courtside at a Pelicans game. I mean, we took a 10-second video, and this is like literally the example of, you know, 15 seconds fame. Well, in this case, 11 seconds of fame and backfire. The intent of what y'all was trying to do, and he taking it global. Like I said, I mean, he got an action figure. He's been taking pictures with people. He's had basically the whole country following and taking up for him. And the funny part about it, I said to y'all earlier, you know, what is the people that look like got it? You know, like I said, I thought they was just regular females, but you know, of course, the internet's gonna do what the internet does. And of course, you know, they start off as a joke, turn and backfire to them. And of course, you know what happens anytime that you say something and it don't turn out the way you do, you want to be fake offended. But finally found who was the one who recorded the video. Definitely caught me off guard because, like I said, I heard it was female voices. I was not expecting this BMF version of Future to come up on the screen. And out of anybody, you know, your fit can't be worse than the guy that you recording fit. So, you know, she tried to come online and defend herself, saying it was all jokes. They was actually saying he was clean. They weren't trying to do all that. They said they was doing him a favor and trying to make it a sound bite. But what ended up happening was she was getting joked on. And of course, she tried to go online and defend herself, saying he was cool with it. She was appreciative. And when she seen that she went viral and then went the negative way, she tried to say everything was love so people would get, you know, stop joking on her. At first, she said she don't care, but when she seen the attentions to kind of go haywire, she ain't like all that. So she went and showed everybody that, yo, this ain't what I was looking for. And on top of that, you know, her TikTok page kind of blew up with people trying to basically assassinate her character. And it was really funny because if you see her outfit is terrible. But it's kind of funny to me because it seems like the funniest part about studs is it seems like when you do see, because she called herself one, so it seems like when they do, it's like it's just one model of stud. It don't seem like they like try to dress like Carlton or anything. They try to dress like Young Thug, and they try to dress like Future. They don't never. It's always polos. It's always True Religion. It's always something big and baggy. Never nothing fitted. Never nothing normal. And I'd be like, when black studs try to like go out in the closet and dress like niggas, like it's always Trapper. It's always Guns N' Roses. It's always Gang Jeezy first album, Thug Motivation 101, Gucci Man, Burr. It's never 9 to 5 motherfucker. It's never a nigga trying to hold down the house with 2 kids, you know, going to school. It's never a nigga who got his shit together. No. It's always trap niggas. And I always find this shit funny as fuck that this is always the stud starter pack. Like I said, it's always a jersey, it's always some baggy, it's always some J's, it's always some big loud ass belt, probably a grill, some sunglasses, and always some dreads. And so I just be like, I don't know. Like it's like if 2K was to model how they was to build they look, it's always that particular type. And I just wonder, like, it's a bunch of model guys of different personalities. I just don't. I just wonder why that's always the go to. But also, if you gonna joke on a motherfucker and they look clean, and then you look like an extra for Codeine Crazy, doing stand in for Future if he was to be doing stunts in that motherfucker. You can't be looking raspy and dirty and shit like that and thinking that shit gonna be like, come on now. He looking his age and you looking like you got identity crisis or some shit like that. Like I said, you looking like a multiverse version of Bethany. Like, like if when they be saying in life that I could have went one or two ways, you look like the other way that you could have went if you would have not went to college. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that shit was funny. I thought it was really funny because, like I said, my man is out here blowing up off of y'all joke, and I need Pink Dolphin or somebody to reach out to me. I ain't fresh. I ain't cool. Who kind of coming back in style want to sponsor your boy? I ain't hooch. What I gotta wear to have y'all sponsoring your mans out here. I want a deal of some sort, and just holler at your boy. Stop playing. Put it on the record. But Jabot, I ain't fresh. I never had the pants with the MFG on the shit like that. Let sponsor your man. Shit. I wear up tempos all the time. I ain't fresh. Sponsor your man. I ain't got the up tempo flip flops. Sponsor, but I ain't fresh. Shit. At this point, like I said, shit, Rogaine or something like that. I think it's a patch back there. I ain't bald. Shit, sponsor your man. Shit. So like I said, holla at your boy, man. But all y'all people, think before you do for likes and clicks. Like I said, now you got wishy-washy. Now you got Coop out here looking crazy and shit like that, trying to defend himself, talking about they don't care. Now they out here trying to be on everybody's side because they backfire and they fame is just getting lit up in their TikTok comments. Now the motherfucker going to delete the page and taking no accountability per usual. So you can dress like a nigga, but you still take the accountability of a lot of your female counterparts. So I said what I said. Let me go to our last topic, which I thought was hilarious, and we're going to sign off. People. This is why I just prefer to meet people in person because, dating apps now is just funny and it's just full of lies. I seen something online and it was just absolutely hilarious. A woman who was completely shocked and upset with a man who did not want to go on a date with her because she didn't like her profile picture, went online and decided to show people that she been lying to motherfuckers like a motherfucker. And again, I said no accountability gang. So here, check this out.
Guys, I just finished my date and I am so embarrassed. I'm not gonna cry here. I'm not gonna cry. I'm sorry, guys. I just had to clean myself up a little bit. He came, and so the whole thing is we went to this restaurant he wanted to go to, and it was a little too expensive, but I don't know. I asked my sister for money, so we went. I had this dress on, and I changed because I had this dress on and everything. And I had my hair out. Like, guys, I cut it, but it wasn't like this. I had it parted a little bit. And so I went in, and he was like looking around, like, oh, like he was looking for somebody else. And I was like, okay, I'm like, hey, I'm Tia. And then he was like, Tia. I'm like, yeah, it's for me, from BLK. And then he was like looking confused, and he told me to sit down. So I sat down. I smiled, and he didn't smile back at me. And then he was like, I don't look like my pictures. I do look at my pictures. I don't Photoshop anything. I tell everything how it is. I'm gonna insert at the end of the video the picture I put in, and he was like, you know, just being so quiet through the meal and all that. He didn't even want to pay. I said, hey, I didn't bring my money with me, and then he eventually paid, and then now he sent me a request to pay for the food, and that's not. I just don't understand why are men like this. Men are evil.
Now, like I said, it is a reason why I prefer to meet people in person because this is the exact reason why men like this. You deserve a
Man, sit your dumb ass down.
and but we haven't done this in a long time. But for that bullshit, what did she say right here? What is? Let me see. Is this about right
Yeah. And then he was like, Tia.
here?
I'm like, yeah, it's from me, from BLK. And then
Mm-hmm.
he was like looking confused, and he told me to sit down. So I sat down.
Uh huh.
I smiled, and he didn't smile
Right
back
on.
at me. And then he was like, I don't look like my pictures.
Girl.
I do look like my pictures. I don't Photoshop anything. I tell everything how it is. I'm gonna insert.
Lord, 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 Lord,
At the
Lord,
end of the
Lord,
video,
Lord. Boy, we ain't did Why the Fuck You Lying is so fucking long, but this segment is going to be the Why You Lying segment for so long. Because let's see these pictures that she putting on her BLK, which sound like some trash, right? Here's her reference right here, right? This is her profile for her Tinder dating site right here. All right? Come on now. Ass for just mistaken identity for anything, all right? And let's get this clear, all right? Before some of Lizzo people come up in here thinking it's about her size or whatever, it ain't got nothing to do with her size at all. All right, people know at least if you kind of smart. Okay, it's pretty obvious when you are a big girl because when you are, you usually only take aerial shots, right? It's always aerial shots, and 9 times out of 10, especially if you got big chest, it's always cleavage shots only. All right. So 9 times out of 10, when you see all those aerial shots and cleavage shots, oh, and it stops right about right there. You know what I'm saying? So if I was just do it right there, and it's usually just like the chin. I mean, it ain't like it's too much neck anyway, but you don't want to see like that like that like gullet type thing, right? And so like that she gonna be big. So it wasn't the fact that you was a big girl and you lied, right? That's the part where she trying to make it seem like men ain't shit. I want to show y'all why she think that. This is probably why she said she don't look like her picture. All those pictures, he probably knew she was big. This is how she showed up to the date. Look at this shit right here. Come on now. She looked like she looked like one of she looked like somebody auntie or something like that. There's no way that motherfucker's like I think it's like 26 or 29 right now. Come on now. That look like a shag rug that you take off the fucking floor off somebody's grandma house. Thrown the fucking together. It can't be, no. Your chest was perky in the pictures. Now it look like your chest when you lay in the bed and you say you take your bra off and you sleep and the motherfuckers just falling off the bed going left and right like niggas going opposite way for gang violence. Like, come on now. No. Ain't no way in hell. Like, you just look. It looked like when you see them movies where like the little slow girl or something like that get made up for a cause or some shit like that. Like y'all trying to do a good deed to get in heaven. Like all dogs go to heaven type shit. Like top of your scalp look musty and shit. Like I would have been mad as fuck too. Talking about well shit. If she would have said like if he's like, oh, you got nerd talking about I ain't bring no money with me out to eat. Well, I don't know what fuck you gonna eat there. You better be getting ready to go in there and do some dishes there. Like You got some motherfucking nerve to be talking about like men ain't shit when you coming up in there looking like Magilla motherfucking gorilla. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's obvious that you were a big girl from the sides, from just the pictures. You out here looking like somebody's old ass auntie at 29. And it's just the lies. You know what I'm saying? Hey, lie of the year, men ain't shit. The accountability gang. I don't filter my pictures. I don't do this. It's okay. Hey, to each his own. I thought that shit was hilarious. Um, it comes to a point to where like that's like a nigga. Like I said, you always tell because it's never full body pictures. You was wrong for going in there with that 1960 box Chevy backseat dress on. And look, it might have been something from Sheen. I know it possibly Fashion Nova, double coupon for Easter fit. I don't know what the fuck that was, but you definitely deserve to pay for that motherfucking meal coming up there looking like that. I love people with natural hair. I love people. I don't have a problem with people getting their hair cut. But when your hair look like it can start static, you need to pay for the meal. So I just think that, you was wrong as fuck for that. But, to each his own. I don't think that I think everybody's entitled to like what they want. And I feel like you don't give him enough credit for being honest. I think he told you at the beginning, and I don't think you like his answer. I also think that sometimes people are coaxed into thinking too much of themselves. I think people need to be more put. I think people need that Kevin Samuels dosage back. I don't think everybody is as close to Nicki Minaj as they think they are. Some people are pretty. There are gorgeous people that are plus size women. It ain't because she plus size at all. There are gorgeous plus size women. This ain't that segment where I'm talking about one. But there are gorgeous plus size women. There are gorgeous women of size. There are gorgeous small women. It's just when you get on these apps, you just need to know. So hey, to each his own. But you are the biggest liar of the fucking. I'm glad you should have went on that date on April fucking Fools, and then he probably would have been a laugh. You probably could have got a second joke because he would have thought you were a comedian at that point. I would have been like, "Oh, you tell jokes," because this is what the fuck I'm on right now. I'm on a fucking joke right now. All right, you look like y'all look like y'all had an interesting date. I'm not gonna bully anybody today. I just think that the audacity to be offended. And then when you pulled your hair up with your scalp half done, looking like Kendrick in Power. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all y'all people that had something to say about Kendrick being Mario Chalmers. Kendrick can do a lot of things. Kendrick can't save y'all podcast from, taking that L and being number 3. But it is what it is. I just think that guys, y'all got to go meet people in person. That's how you saw that. I mean, you already got to deal with people when you go out to the club and you see them, they got their face beat with a whole bunch of makeup. And if they hit that motherfucking dashboard of yours, it's going to be a lot of shit on your car. Or when they wake up in the morning, it might not be the same person that you gave your number to. You just got to deal with that. But we're going to wrap it up right here. I want to thank everybody that listened to the last episode. I want to thank everybody that decided to go on TikTok and really go crazy over my take on Kendrick. Hey, man, it is what it is. I appreciate you. I want to thank everybody. We are right at the cusp of 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I really appreciate everybody. We have put in the work. We've been doing this for a long time. That's a goal of mine I've been wanting to hit for a long time. So I really do thank everybody that's been rocking with the show, been riding with the show. Everybody that's been patient, while we took our break, and everybody's been an active follower. I want to just really thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank everybody for, their engagement. I want to thank everybody. All you got to do sometimes is just say some shit for some likes and clicks. I want to thank everybody for listening to this episode of the 81992 podcast. If y'all got any questions, just make sure you DM us on our Instagram page, which will be in the link on the end of this video, or you can email us, or you can hit any of the links on the end of this video, or you can hit the links at the end of the audio site that you're listening to this, or you can send us an email at the8morning92podcast@gmail.com. Other than that, I'm your man Harrison. I appreciate y'all rocking with us today. Hopefully we'll be at 1,000 subscribers on YouTube by this next episode, and then I will be able to, I don't know, man, this might be shirt off episode next time, so it might be Gucci shirtless out here. You know how it be, Gucci shirt off, people might stop breathing. But we're going to holler at y'all later. This has been another episode of the 8 Morning 92 podcast, where we always keep it 100. Hey, make sure y'all out here seeing people in public, because you will be seen with some gorillas out here. Come here, Jarvis. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Say, peace. Peace. Peace.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of the 8 Morning 92 podcast, where we always keep it 100. You heard none of them sound effects, did you?
Nah.
Hey.
Y'all niggas I was gonna keep the street.
Oh, then how you coming, Glock?
Pause.
Okay.
It's the 8 Morning 92 podcast. You know how we do. We always keep it 100.
Yeah.